If you have access to high net worth individuals and you have that relationship in place, and don't ask them what you can Google. Ask them about their journey and their mindset and what maybe traps they fell in or what you want to avoid or how they would do it again today.
To me, in a structure where I'm an employee, it's not an if, it's a when that thing happens. And so I didn't want that win to be at that same time in my life. So I talked to my wife. I was like, Jess, I'd like to at least replace our mortgage here. And that's backwards math, right? Because I'm taking on more debt to supplement something that, But I really saw it as something hands-off because I love what I do. I didn't want to stop doing it. And just, the initial plan grew. I was like, oh, this is, all right, this is working. Let's do it again. All right.
So was your initial introduction to real estate investing through your experience as a banker, like the high net worth individuals, you kind of knew that real estate investing existed? And then what did you do to study and be able to do it yourself? How did you make that first step into your first deal?
So I did a lot of, I'll say, self-education, and I did have clients that I asked.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
I felt I had a strong enough relationship with them to say, hey, this is kind of what I'm thinking. I see that you have done this, right? And they're always were more than happy to help. More than happy.
Absolutely.
Which was I felt like at certain points I was like, I crossed a boundary here. But yeah, I was able to get real life advice from people that had done it very well and big. And I was like, I'm not trying to replicate this, right? This is your recipe, man. That's your cake that you just pulled out of the oven. But but yeah, they were very generous in advice, and it was really important for me to have my wife on board too.
It's interesting where I think a lot of people think the really high net worth individuals are guarded and need to protect their business. It's quite the opposite.
No,
they're the most willing to help. They have an abundance mindset. They want to bring others with them.
Yeah.
I'd say in most cases, maybe not in all cases, but in most cases, that's what I found. And so if you have access to high net worth individuals and you have that relationship in place, and don't ask them what you can Google. Ask them about their journey and their mindset and what maybe traps they fell in or what you want to avoid or how they would do it again today. Ask it from their perspective, not how do you do a burr? Or something, or how do you, what does a 1031 mean?
Right.
Don't ask those questions. Ask what you cannot Google and what you can learn. So, and I specifically, throughout this podcast, will not ask questions that you can, that's not why you're spending your time sitting here, is to answer questions you can Google, right? So how did you get your wife on board?
Well, I'm 6'5", so I just walked in. No, I'm just kidding. So I said, we're doing this now. I just talked to her. I said, look, these are our plans, and I just want a little bit of insulation in case something less than fortunate happens. And she was like, all right, I see it, And then I have a tendency to kind of, see things pick up and start to compound, and I'm like, all right, this is working. Let's go. And again, learning, by this time I'm in my mid to late 20s, right? I think learned finance a lot differently, right? And better.
Yeah.
And I understood the rate environment at the time, and I was like, it ain't going to get cheaper. So I was like, this is working. One of the focal point for us and how we buy was workforce housing. It's just very resolute. And so I was like, how can I back the truck up and if you can give me 30-year paper at 3%, I will take all that I can get my hands on. Mm-hmm. I felt more confident, right? If 22-year-old or 23-year-old me said, hey, go take out $1 million, that would freak me out. Mm-hmm. That would really scare me. But I just through little bits and pieces learned, got more confident, I hit my head, and you continue to go, and if it's working, keep going.